What is up, bros? With Josh here. In today's video, we're going over some Z-46 gameplay, and this is from our alt account for our Road to Tier 10 series. I'll put a link down below for that. We are going through the German destroyers right now, and boy, am I proud and happy to get done with the Z-23. We actually ended up having some decent games in it. However, though, I really dislike that middle part of the German DD line, that Tier 6, 7, and 8, with those kind of awkward big guns, mediocre torps. The ships themselves I find to be very mediocre, and some of the, honestly, the weaker ones for their tiers. And getting to the Z-46 in this thing has been a monster. But not only is this some game footage for the Z-46, it's going over one of the new modules that I've started to use and really started to like with these. As you see from just a couple videos ago, I literally made a video on, are the German destroyers being overpower crept? And I feel like really the middle ones are. And I feel like the Z-46 is kind of its shining star. You can kind of compare it to, like, let's say the Fletcher at tier 9 for the USN destroyers, where it's still extremely strong. And then the Z-52 gets into some weird areas where it can do some stuff. But the kind of the whole thing about the German destroyers is they have a fast torp reload. They have some decent guns if you use the AP correctly. And they have aggressive sonar, which we love to use when we can use it. But they have a very fast reload. The torps are fairly stealthy. But one of the things that the new modules, and there's been an entire rework, and Wargaming's trying to do this, and we're seeing it even with the legendary modules as well. There's going to be a total rework of that eventually, is these new modules that allow you to have some different gameplay. And one of the ones we've started to use a lot on the Z-46, and I'm really enjoying it, and I actually highly recommend it, is the new torp mod. So the new torp mod, if you didn't see the update or when we went over it on stream, we play all these games live on twitch.tv/media, so come check us out, is the new Torpedo Tubes mod 1. And this is one of the new modules, and this is one that I didn't use on the Z-46. Just missed that one. We didn't use on the Z-46 or Z-23, but we are using on the Z-46, and this is basically one that is going to compete against aiming system mods, so making your guns a little bit more accurate. One of the reasons that I didn't use this on the Z-23 is I didn't really find that ship to be that accurate, and I kind of did some comparisons with the 127s and the 150s on that, but I didn't quite find that ship as consistent as the Z-46. I find the ship to be quite consistent on its shells, and as we just missed that one out there. But I have started to use this Torpedo Tube mod 1. Now what it basically does is give your torps a 5% speed increase, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it seems to have gotten my ship over, or these torps over, some threshold that really makes them consistent and strong against not so much battleships, because I feel like battleships are quite good, but I'm starting to get a lot more Citadel, or not Citadels, a lot more torpedo hits on cruisers, and you'll see that happen in this game. I don't know what it is. The thing about these is right now with this setup, and I am running the torpedo module, which is on the last slot for this ship, so I am running that one. So my torps are fairly quick now at 70 knots for German DDs. And also, they're fairly quick. They're a 70-second reload, which is very fast. And one of the things that these German torps have is a very low detection. You know, not a Sashio low, but they're very low with a 1.4 kilometer detection. So not only are they kind of hard to see, you have less reaction time, now they're getting into 70 knots on this, which is actually quite good. And really, I find these ships to have pretty good accuracy, so it's kind of almost a win-win. And again, not so much on the hitting battleships with torps or anything like that. It's more about, I've noticed I've hit way more torps on cruisers, and that's been something that's been pretty awesome, honestly. And here our Lenin is going to go absolutely YOLO into all those ships, straight line sailing, and I was hoping he could maybe kill the Minotaur, but we will cap this and then say good luck to our Lenin as he YOLOs into this and sails broadside to an Iowa. But what are you going to do? But overall, this is one of the things, one of the torps and one of the modules that this kind of rework has that I think has been really one of the standouts. I think there's a couple other ones that are quite good for the normal modules, but this one really is going to be the one that really stands out in this video at least. But I'm liking it. Now there's another one that the battleships have, which is the change to torpedo or the target acquisition. That is one that is kind of could potentially just negate a lot of these, at least torps, because it gives a guaranteed detection of 1.8. So it kind of puts that and into kind of a weird area. But at least for the Z-46, I've really been enjoying it, and I'm interested in seeing if you guys have changed and started to use these a little bit. So I find it to kind of be a nice little twist and a nice little boost to these, at least these German destroyers. And if you guys saw just the other day, I made a video on, do you think that the German destroyers are basically overpower crept, and I feel like the middle tiers at least are, but really I think the Z-46 is still fairly strong. But I do honestly like this torp setup right here. I think it's good, and I think it's fun, and I think it's something it's really strong. And you'll see us get it's a bit of a slow start here as we're trying to talk our guy off the ledge, and of him YOLOing and being mad at the team. But there's always the one battleship that YOLOs and then gets mad about no support. But no, overall, I feel like this is kind of a nice little mix, and it kind of goes against, I wouldn't say against my video, but I feel like this may breathe some life into this line a little bit, because getting that, I don't know, it just seems like it gets over a little bit of a threshold for this line that it kind of lacks in a way. It only ends up being 3 knots faster, but I don't know if it's a mix of what, but it just seems like it's starting to click a lot more, and we've been having some absolute monster games in the Z-46, and just getting tons of torpedoes. As I say that, I only have 1 in 7 minutes in this game. However, though, you will see some pretty clutch torps later, and we end up having a nice little cross torp here. With the Zao torp, so in the end it kind of works out pretty well. And we're actually going to see some really good teamwork here. But yeah, it's making the Z-46 a ship I normally wouldn't play. Now, do I think it's going to make the Z-46 the top tier 9 destroyer? Do I think it's better than the Jutlander or the Kitakaze? No, but do I think the Z-46 is maybe breaking into some new realm here? Maybe. I don't know. I'm liking it. Maybe it's just a little bit of placebo, but I'm interested in what you guys have you guys started using maybe this module itself? Have you guys started to at least try and maybe play with some of these? And I don't know what our Buffalo was going to expect here, going nose into a battleship that it can easily just absolutely wreck him. But I don't know what he really expected to happen here, but some people just want to go back to port even faster. And here he goes, nice and broadside. This was a goofy game. It was definitely a goofy game. We had YOLO with YOLO, and yeah, I didn't know what he expected was going to happen there. But whatever, as long as he's having fun, that's all that matters. But yeah, it adds a nice little threat that this ship hasn't had in a long time. And I will be making a video on this entire line once I finish it. We're almost to the Z-46 because we have been blasting through the Z-46, and we're almost to the Z-52. I mean, we've been blasting through it. It's been a lot of fun, and the games have been quite good. So overall, really enjoying this line right now, and I'm just super happy that I'm past kind of the awkward part of the line, which I think is that middle part. I'm not a big fan of it, but down goes the minnow. We snag him with those little bit faster torps, and I think we even get some collateral here too, which is nice. And me and the Zao are about to carry this team. We get into a nice little rhythm here. Oh, I don't get the collateral. A little bit of a bummer there, but we have nice cap control. We have this Buffalo that is going to get wrecked eventually, and we have a Thunder that is up on the A line, so a bit of a bummer there with nothing close to him. So we will then roll in and do what we can to hopefully control this fight and get back into it. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm really kind of I like when wargaming this whole thing, and that was the original idea. The original idea with how the legendary modules work, and so we all know that those are going through some changes. Ships that don't have them at tier 10 are going to get some new ones, and we really are kind of just waiting. Wargame is trying to offer a difference in play styles, so this one kind of has it. They want to get away from basically cookie cutter builds, which has kind of been what the game has, and it'll still in a way still be what this game is kind of cookie cutter builds, but it's one of those that this kind of offers up a nice little trade. Do I want my guns to be a little bit accurate? Are they accurate enough? You know, that's more. There's a little bit of a trade of, is it accurate enough? If it is, then I'm gonna take these torps. If I don't think they are, then I have that thing. So this is kind of the first slot that I've really seen this change. I still think we will always get X is better than Y. I will always use X. I think that kind of setup will always be there. However, though, this is one of the first one where it's kind of like, okay, there's not really like a true winner here. And that's something that I kind of like. I think that's maybe the first real success with these modules. I'm waiting to still see what's going to happen with the legendary modules, but I'm liking that these torps are getting into that 70 knot range, which is so fast. And again, having that just without really even any adrenaline rush, getting down into the 60 some second reload is super strong. The Zal burns him down, and then my torps are going to give that North Carolina a little bit of a smack here. And you can even see against a German cruiser, and down he goes, boom, nice little torps right there, and we're back into it. We're clawing back this game. We're clawing back the Haraguma still. Thunder is pushing in. They have all those guys, but they have to deal with the cruiser. And you're going to see that even with that, we still have a little bit of the ability to hit cruisers. I keep saying that. I know I do, but I don't know. It opens up them as being a lot more of a target because, I mean, how many times have you just consistently launched torps at cruisers and they just dodge everything? These ones getting a little bit faster. However, though, I do see a little bit of a weird pattern here. Maybe not the best one, but I see kind of like this trade-off of we're getting into, especially with like the European destroyers, of just spammy torps, spammy everything. And with that, it's not really, I don't know, we're getting into a weird kind of trade-off world. And what I mean by that is the torps are getting faster, but now a lot of battleships will be able to see those torps from farther away. And I feel like it's kind of this rock paper scissors with the new torp armament, or the new location, or what the new build that the new module that battleships have to guarantee their vision of torps at 1.8 kilometers. That kind of, I think, was one that a lot of people are going to use. If you didn't originally know what that was, it was the ability to guarantee the spotting of ships at 3 kilometers, and I think it helped the torps a little bit at that point, but no one really used it because it wasn't super strong. Now being able to guarantee torps at 1.8 is kind of interesting, but it seems like one group of players, which the battleship players, are getting this setup, which is basically they're getting the ability to spot torps from farther away, but now the destroyers are just getting faster torps. It seems like there's this weird kind of trade-off. Now, not everyone's going to use either of the, either or, it's not like everyone's going to use this torp armament and then every battleship's going to use the torp detection mod. But still, it's kind of adds this weird kind of back and forth. I feel like torps are getting a little bit more spammy now, especially with the European destroyers. Reload's getting lower, torps are getting faster. Torps are going to become more of a threat, I think, for a lot of people. But, some battleship players will continue to take that module, and it will help some, I think, dodge some. And really, it kind of really affects the deep water torps. So RIP Pan-Asian destroyers, they are getting, they continue to get just kind of kicked around a little bit. Poor line. But overall, though, the Germans, I think these work very well with the Germans. German destroyers known as having a nice little trade-off of guns, and a nice trade-off of guns and torps. And buffing up these torps right here, when you kind of find the line being fairly strong anyway, it's a nice little setup here. I like this mod for sure. So if you are going through the German destroyers and you find, I know a lot of people ask me, what do I think of let's say the Gaeta and the Z-43, the ones that offer the smaller caliber shells and the bigger caliber shells, 2 gun options. I'll do a video. I want to do a video on the Z-23, but one of the things is, for the Z-20, or I keep saying the Z-20, I'm getting all the calibers mixed up. One of the things that I do know is that for the smaller caliber, the 127 millimeters, those ones, you are going to want actually the aiming mod, in my opinion, that is, because those are very inaccurate. So you're going to want those, and taking the aiming mod, so you're not really going to be able to use this. But if you're using the bigger caliber shells, you will really be able to pump out a ton of damage and be able to use those torps. So I would say that would be my recommendation for that. If you are going to be using those, I would use the torpedo mod if you're using the bigger ones, because they're just more accurate. And then if you are using the smaller caliber, I would still use aiming mod because they are not very accurate. But a nice little game here in the Z-46. Again, this whole video was just showing off some fun gameplay, some nice teamwork too with the Zao, compliments going out, and we were able to kind of hold on to this and get this game won, and really wanted to show off this new module and see if any of you guys are using it. I'm really I like having some options when you're playing this game. I like having some difference. And you're going to see just the pathetic German HE right here. I was like, please don't detonate. The pathetic German HE. So we've been using that, but hey, at least his torps go down. And we were so close. Oh no, we did end up getting the Kraken too. So Confederate, and fire goes down, and GG easy. A nice little game. So it took us, what, 5 salvos to do 2,500 there. So overall, a nice little game in the Z-46. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on this module. Have you done it? Have you used it? And what do you think about it? Have you started to throw it on some of your ships? A lot of people maybe don't even know that these modules are even out right now. But overall, I think a nice little one, a nice little treat to add to some DDs, and kind of offers up a fun little faster torp setup, and maybe snag some extra torps on stuff, but a nice little cracking game right there. Easy peasy. And then yeah, but you can also check us out on twitch.tv/mejash. Come check us out, hang out, and just ask away some questions. As always, that's the best part of the stream, is hanging out with chat and playing some games in World of Warships. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.